The Joe Rogan Experience.
Is there a struggle to find time, like to manage the time between work and family, relationships?
Not after that accident.
No.
Not after that fucking accident. Accident was the best eye-opening experience ever. You know what I mean? I was married to my career and dating my family. Right? Like
yeah. Right.
I'm all about this work and all about this hustle. Granted, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. But after a certain point, you got to prioritize accordingly. When you get to a certain point where the decisions that can be made are a little more controlled and you have the ability to maneuver differently because of the success that you've obtained, make those adjustments. I didn't make those adjustments. I was still hustle. Granted, great dad. We're doing stuff. I'm home. I'm getting back home. But my in and outs, 3 days, I'm out. 2 days, 3 days, I'm out. I got to go film the movie. Y'all come down for the weekends. All right, I see you guys. We'll eat dinner. We'll do stuff, and it's great. Crammed it all in. All right, y'all, I got to go. I'm working. And it's not bad. But now, all right, I'll film a movie. After I'm done filming a movie, well, I need to take 30 days off. I need to take 40 days off. That's just with me and the fam. Now, hey, you go tour, it was just year and a half. We out. 4 days out the fucking week. I'm out, year and a half. I got to get it. Well, now, let's go a month and a half. Let's stop for 3 weeks. I'm with the fam. So I still have my 3 days a week that I was here, but then I'm going to stop for 3 weeks. This is dedicated to fam time. Don't nobody do anything with me or talk to me. I'm home. Now, my office, I was in that office when we fucking open. Office open at 9. I'm there at 8. You know, there's a chance that I may be in that office till fucking 6. Now, no matter what, guys, that day in the office has to end at like 3. I got to be home for dinner. I got dinner with the fam. My priorities have changed. But it brings me back to the decisions that you're now able to make based off of life's circumstances, life's lessons. So because of all of the shit that I went through, because of the things that I now got to see, because of that hospital room and those 4 walls and me seeing my family and what that love did for me and to me, well, I'll be damned if I fucking look past that. I'll be damned if I not do what I'm supposed to do and give that the same amount of attention in return.
When are you going to do your thing with Norm again? You're going to start soon?
Yeah, we've been planning for a while now, so now we're just going to, we just need to put all the nuts and bolts into place and then get a studio, get a camera, and just do it. But you're going to be the first guest.
I'm in.
All right, good.
So just tell me when, so I can plan ahead.
We're shooting the first one in the fall. So
okay. So you're gonna plan it out. You're gonna map it out in advance. Nice.
I can't wait, and we're still,
I'm in. Listen, I love Norm to pieces. He's one of my all-time favorite human beings.
Same here.
That have ever lived. I have a great story about Norm. Me and him on a plane, and randomly, this is crazy but true. Randomly, twice I sat next to him on planes, just randomly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, totally randomly. Like, what's up, Norm? What's up, Norm? Like, crazy, this is happening again. And both times it was a blast. But one time we're flying back and he's like, yeah, I used to smoke and I had to give it up. It's fucking terrible for you. But sometimes I miss it. But glad I quit. I'm like, how long has it been? He's telling me all these months. He stopped smoking, this and that. We're talking. As soon as we land, he walks right into the fucking store, buys a carton of cigarettes, and he's opening this cigarette. He's lighting it before he gets out the door. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, oh, that talk about smoking. I had to have one. And the flight from I forget where we even were, 2 times. Both times are just like the best flights. Like, just like having an audience of one next to one of the greatest comics ever and just be able to talk shit.
Yeah, he's probably, he's probably like in my top 3 favorite stand-up comics of all time. And he's so
great
quick.
Guy.
He's a great guy.
Greatest guy.
The 2 greatest people in my life in comedy have been Norm and Spade. They've just been so good to me, and I love them both, and they're both equally hilarious in different ways. But Norm, I'll never forget how quick he was and good he was at hosting that podcast. We had Larry King on one time, and Larry was like, Norm, I don't think they're going to give you a show, like, you know, the way, because he was just fucking outlandish, saying the most crazy fucking shit to Larry King. And Larry's like, you know what, Norm? He's like, 50 years in the radio business. The one thing I learned is I rarely talk. I always listen. That's why I always learn from the guests, because I'm always listening. And Norm goes, can I interrupt you there? So I can't wait to come back with this podcast.
Norm is the hidden king of the internet. If he decided to have a podcast, it would be the biggest podcast of all time. If he just did it on a regular basis.
I know. We just need to get motivated.
He's buck wild, dude.
He is.
And he's always been.
Always.
There's whatever the filter, it doesn't even screw into his head.
No.
Like, there's no filter. There was never a place for it.
He's the Charles Manson of comedy. No, he loves Manson.
Does he really?
Yeah, we'll definitely get O'Neill on.
No way. He's a Manson fiend?
Huge.
How much does he know about the case?
I think he knows all. I'm sure he's read the book several times.
You think he's read that book, that
Yeah.
Chaos book? Oh, okay. Yeah, good. I need to talk to him about it.
Yeah, you have to.
The best fighters in the world can always match a good match. But it's the first one that makes a mistake is the one who loses.
Mm-hmm.
That's where and momentum is so important in sports. Momentum is everything. That snowball, once it starts to build, it's so hard to recover and turn that around in high competition. It's a mental thing. But when you can control things and control and then find one mistake and then you build on that mistake, you're like a wave. You slowly get a little bigger and you slowly get a little bigger. And now you start to capitalize, because once they make a mistake, that pattern's starting to create. And then once you got someone make a mistake after mistake after mistake, that's when you crumble on them. And I feel like that's what he's done really well. The 3 fights prior to that, he was just able to capitalize on the big mistake. But credit to Tony. Tony is one of the most gangster dudes in this sport. And for him to go through the damage that he did and continue to walk forward is something unique.
Incredible.
It is one of the coolest things to experience as a coach, to sit there and watch his mental not change. Even when because I was calling for the ref to stop the fight at about halfway through the 5th round. And when he got hit with that last jab and shook his head, I don't think it was a point like, oh, I don't want to go on no more. I don't know if it was the orbital, because I know he had an orbital issue, but there was something going on where his body is telling him not to do it, but his mental's like, no, don't stop. Keep going, because he's still kicking and punching. Even with the big old gash on his shin from the check, he was still kicking.
Like, he never flinched. He never flinched. He was getting cracked, and
he'd get knocked backwards, and then he would go from backwards or right back to forward. It was super unique to watch, but again, it was great to see someone who can listen and understand that if you stay in control yourself, that's the key to everything in this world. If you listen to anything else on the outside and you start to adapt to other things, you're never going to live the way you want to live. And to be a fighter, you have to be in control of yourself all the time. I always say the best fighters are the best actors. The ones that can trick themselves, fake it till you make it, till you get to the championship. And you have to live that way. You have to obsess never being broken. And even if you break, accept it and then on to the next. Don't deal with it. Oh, man, I had such a bad day. That's one of my biggest pet peeves that I hate, is hearing someone, oh, man, today was a shitty day. And I was like, yeah, there's going to be many more shitty days, but accept it.
Yeah.
You know, love it.
Does you zero good to sit around and talk about shitty days.
Totally. And I have fighters say, man, you're always saying just positive shit. You're always just like it. I'm like, hell yeah, you got to love every part of it.
Where did you store everything?
Well, it was initially, to be honest, I didn't expect to see a Wolverine. I never have, and I just wasn't something on my consciousness. And so when I got the moose, I put all the meat up on this shelf I built and thought, man, if a bear comes, it'll be great. I'll have a chance at a bear. You know, I'll wake up in the night and kind of be like a bait pile, basically.
Plenty of fat.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was maybe expecting a bear to come, but I went to sleep the first night I got the moose and woke up and I came out and there were just tracks everywhere. Somehow I hadn't woken up, but Wolverine's a lot slyer animal, and he had come and pulled out all the kidney fat. You know, I had like a jug of kidney fat that I was just like, no.
He ate all your fat?
He hauled off a full gallon jug packed with kidney fat. I had other fat, but that was like, weeks of fat there.
Did you find it?
No, it was rough. And so then he was pretty excited, I'm sure. So that Wolverine just kept coming back every day. I figured they were nocturnal, but sure enough, I'd be like out there scraping my moose hide in the middle of the day. He'd come running up and like try to grab some meat and run off. I was like, holy smokes, this thing's bold.
Is this a photo of him?
Yeah, that's the one.
Where is he?
That's at my shelter there. Or heads off the show. There he is, sneaking around. But
Wow.
oh yeah, so he stole 35,000 calories, which is gold up there.
Oh, so you got some serious gear on. You're wearing Kuyu.
Yeah.
So you got real
real gear.
real
Yeah,
hunting
you're not.
clothes.
It's not naked and afraid, fortunately.
Yeah. No, well, that's serious hunting gear you're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's your 8-pillar frame.
Yeah,
That's
there's that
pretty
little-
dope. Is that when you pissed off that the moose fat?
Yeah.
A gallon of moose fat contains roughly 35,000 calories. Wow, gone.
Gone.
Cunty
Oh,
little
man.
Wolverine. You should have
Yeah.
kept that shit in the little tent with you.
Yeah, I really should have. I thought I would hear a bear coming, but I didn't think of that Wolverine. Then anyway, he kept coming every day, and I knew it was going to be me or him kind of on that island. so
They're
I was
such
like,
scary little fucks.
I read, maybe you, Jamie, could find it, but that one killed a polar bear in the zoo a while ago.
A Wolverine?
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
Ferocious little things.
I've seen him chase off bears.
Yeah.
I've seen
Oh, they will.
videos of them chasing bears off of kills.
Wolves, all
Bears
that.
like, what the fuck? They're just
Aggro
so
little thing.
ferocious.
Yeah.
And they're so durable. Like
Yeah.
they get bit by bears and wolves and they just fucking shake it off.
Yeah, cool animals for real.
Oh, yeah, man.
Such cool
It's a-
animals.
It is sad. I mean, we were talking about it earlier that, all these businesses are going to go under, like the, child care and barbershops and stuff like that. It's like gyms.
And they didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't. They did everything right. And,
I don't know, maybe in hindsight, it's going to turn out that it was the right thing to do and that it stopped the spread of the virus. And even though there was some flare-ups here and there, it made people more aware and the virus eventually goes away. Maybe it's possible.
But even if it's not the right thing to do, I think people are just, doing it out of caution because we don't know what it is.
But it's not the only strategy. There was other strategies that could be employed. And they could have made people more cognizant and protecting themselves. It would have really greatly slowed the risk of transmission. And I think you could have let people stay working. When you tell people they can't work, I don't like that. And I don't like that not just because it's unconstitutional. I don't like that because I don't like people telling people what to do. And I don't like that because I don't like one person being in charge of figuring out what's right or wrong. I don't know if it's one person or 100 people, but what's right or wrong for an entire state of 40 million people to do.
Right.
And to make up the mind for them. Based on what? Based on just because you got voted into office?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me. You should be dealing with like legitimate problems, not controlling the population through some Orwellian mandate where you just deem it that everyone has to stay home. And then you even offer rewards for people in LA. The mayor was offering rewards for people turning people in who weren't social distancing.
Yeah, that opens up a can of worms. That it's like it's
crazy.
not.
It's all the wrong moves.
That's not going to help anyone. That when I heard that the whole thing that you can basically snitch on somebody not wearing a mask or not doing,
and you
what
get
they're
money.
Yeah, that's yeah. You're setting people up to. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Dude, it's so. Did you ever see the article where it says normally it's snitches get stitches, but in this case it's snitches get reward? Like they're even calling it a snitch.
And it was an official thing that they released. Like,
Yes!
oh my God, some marketing person was like, yeah, I got the thing.
I don't know if it was an official thing or it was the article on it. It was in the LA Times. Whatever it was. And I was like, what are you saying? This is a terrible idea. You're encouraging people to turn people in for rewards? Do you not understand psychology? Like there's people that have grudges against people. There's people that they don't
Right.
like their neighbor. They're just going to turn each other in.
Right.
You can't give people that kind of power.
Right.
You give people the power to just say, it's him. He's got the scarlet letter. And then fucking they look up your ass with a microscope, see if you've been social distancing. Hey, Jesus, I got my eye on you. 6
Right.
feet.
6 feet.
Mask. Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Stay home.
Watch your head. I'm going into a cop car.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. No one knows what the fuck they're doing. For them to tell us what to do, like definitely you have to do. No, maybe you should do it that way. Maybe you should wear a mask and you should stay home. But don't tell me what to do.